It wasn't until things started breaking and I had to readjust my thinking that I had to confront a lot of fears that I had within myself. It was more of a fear of, well, I know how to sell, but do I know how to manage? I know how to market, but do I know how to lead? I know how to grow a team, but can I actually retain them? What's good, go-getters? I'm Erica Smith, a Louisiana girl who left corporate and dove headfirst into digital entrepreneurship. I took everything I learned in my 11-year social media marketing and sales career, launched my online business, and made $20K in 2 weeks. But it wasn't long after I realized that making money is only a small part of running a successful company. And looking back, I could have used a lot of insight and direction. So I'm keeping it real on this podcast, doing all the research so you don't have to. Mindset, money, struggles, and setbacks are all safe topics here. Get ready to learn the marketing methods and sales secrets to scaling a successful digital business that serves both your purpose and your pockets. Consider this a cookout kickback with a touch of table talk networking. Your journey as an entrepreneur is definitely the ride of your life, but if you're ready to go get it, you're in the right place. Welcome to Geaux Getter. What's good, go-getters? It's your host, Erica Smith. Can y'all believe that? We are finally kicking off episode 001 of Geaux Getter, the podcast. This is something that's been on my heart for a very long time. You guys would not believe it. But today we're going to be talking about something that we have got to overcome as go-getters. It's only the best way to kick this thing off. We're going to be talking about fear today on episode 1 because fear is something that has a way of getting in the way. So we're going to be talking about what is fear, why are we manifesting these fears within ourselves, how we can overcome it, and just what we need to do to actually take that step forward into being a true go-getter. Listen, I know what it means to be a go-getter. I'm somebody who got it out the mud from the ground up. I know what the struggles that you go through in entrepreneurship, and that's really the main thing that I want this podcast to be about. I want it to be a safe space for you to be able to come, vibe out, listen, and learn the methods, the sales strategies, the tactics, things that are working right now in real time that's going to be able to help you grow your business. Growing an online business has absolutely changed my life. I am still in awe of what we have been able to accomplish here at Hey Erica Smith, but we're going to be getting into all that here on Geaux Getter. So let's get right into the episode. I know for a fact that fear is one of the most powerful emotions, and it's something that really stems from the inside. A few years ago, I was working with a producer. Shout out to Dude. We were talking about fear really not even being real. A lot of times when we're going through life, whether it's in our business, in our decisions that we're making on the day-to-day, we can already start putting together possibilities of what could be. So we have to really dig deep and understand, why is fear a thing? One of the main reasons it took me so long to start Geaux Getter was the fact that I was in my head about it. If this is something that God put in me and this is something that I know I'm supposed to be doing, it's my responsibility to make sure that it happens. So I want you guys, as you're going on this journey with me with Geaux Getter, I want you to start paying attention to how you talk to yourself, because how you talk to yourself is a clear indicator of how much confidence you have in your own abilities and how much the fear of the future is really throwing you off. Fear is something that can definitely throw off your entire future. It's so incredibly important that we identify the things that we're afraid of, because if we don't address these things, there are so many other people who are connected to us that are never going to be able to reach the things that are purpose for their lives. When I was going through making the list, jotting down different topics about what we should talk about to kick off Geaux Getter, I had to start with this one, because you can't go out and go get anything if you're caught up in your own thoughts, if you're caught up in your own anxieties, if you're caught up in life stressors. And honestly, that's what the enemy wants for you. You have this idea that you want to be this person. You want to grow this business. You want to start this company. You want to be a better mom. You want to be a better parent. You just want to do better. Fear creeps in to come in and stop you from doing the thing. I'm also a strong believer in the obstacle being the way, meaning the thing that you are most afraid of is the thing that you need to do to be able to overcome and push forward. So some of the ways that we can really start overcoming fear is you've got to face it head on. You've got to confront that fear. You've got to challenge the belief that's holding you back. You've got to do that in order to take control of your life. Think about what's going to happen to you and your business, or what's not going to happen to you and your business if you stay stuck. Think about what's going to happen if you don't move forward. Think about what had to happen or what you've already gone through and what you've already overcome. Another reason that you may be fearing some things is because you're lacking that confidence in yourself. If you're not prioritizing you, and if you're prioritizing everything else around you, you're never going to be able to have the energy required to move forward. And when we're talking about entrepreneurship, building a business, hiring people, growing a company, being a first generation business owner, you're entering into a world where you know nothing. There's no red carpet laid out for you. There's no instruction manual. You're going to have that level of energy and that confidence to do things scared. If you don't eliminate those fears, you're never going to be able to reach the point to where you have that level of confidence where you can move forward. When you're running and growing a business, especially a startup, you're going to make a lot of mistakes. You've got to figure out your processes, your operations, your marketing, your sales, your offerings. There's so many moving pieces of what's required with starting a business. When I first started Hey Erica Smith, I honestly was really naive about it. I thought it was all about, I'm going to go out here, make my sales, start my company. Everything's going to be great until things started breaking. It wasn't until things started breaking and I had to readjust my thinking that I had to confront a lot of fears that I had within myself. It was more of a fear of, well, I know how to sell, but do I know how to manage? I know how to market, but do I know how to lead? I know how to grow a team, but can I actually retain them? Things that I had to look within myself to uncover and understand that running a business is so much more than just making sales. I used to say for years, I don't have a sales problem. My issue was always the system of the sales, the team, the operations. And a lot of fears that I had around that was the fact that this all was unfamiliar territory to me. I had never ran a team before. I had never been at an executive level of a corporation before. Like I'm coming out the gate just trying to figure everything out. So that's why I'm really excited about what we're going to be doing here on Geaux Getter, because I know what it feels like to try to grow something and not have any idea how it all works. I know what it feels like to be frustrated, knowing your potential, but not being able to reach it. That's something that I really want to uncover on this podcast as we're learning what it means to be a go-getter. A lot of times people talk about the fear of failure being the most common form of fear. But for me, it actually was the opposite. I always felt the fear of success. When you've grown up or when life has dealt you a hand and you don't know what it's like to actually be happy, sometimes that's more of a struggle than anything. Sometimes you fear the happiness. You fear things being right. You fear it working out. And honestly, that's where I had to do a lot of self-reflection within myself and really understanding that, hey, if God gave me these gifts, he gave you the talent, he gave you the vision for your business, it's for a reason. Anything that comes in that is exalting itself up against what you know is true and what God has given you in your mind, like you can't even give anything opposite of that the time of day. Navigating the changes that happen when you become a business owner or just navigating the changes that success brings you is a whole different world. I've heard so many people say, it's lonely at the top. That's something for sure that I had to navigate. And honestly, that's something that kept me caught up for months. It was the idea that I'm still the same person. I haven't changed. I'm going to stay the same person. So why is it that when I finally flip my switch and I turn my light on, you're intimidated, you're feeling some type of way, you're shifting out on me, and I've done nothing different? A lot of times successes will really uncover people's true intentions. It'll really show you who people are. Just me being on this journey and being where I am now from where I started, it's incredible. And being able to just sit here and talk to y'all every week is wild. It's wild. But the point that I really want to make on today's episode is that before you can go get anything, before you can make an impact, before you can really commit to your business, your marriage, your relationship, your kids, you've got to be able to address the things that are holding you back. You've got to be able to look those things front and center, head on, and just say to yourself, you know what? I'm never going to be able to achieve the level of greatness that I know that's in me until I overcome this. I'm never going to be able to see the thing that I know is there until I practice a level of self-care and just really take care of myself and overcome those fears. That right there, when you can do that, that's incredibly powerful. And if I don't do anything else with Geaux Getter, I want to empower you to know that you do have the ability to overcome the thing that is trying to stop you. Yeah, let's go get it.